Some people were requesting some more information about how to use Desmos for the project that is due on Friday. So I figured I would make just a short video here. First of all, I signed in using a Google account. I would encourage you to do that. If you sign in, then you can change the name of your graph, project, or whatever you want to call it. And as you work on it, you can save it. And then if you click this little button right here, it'll save your project, so you don't have to start it over every single time. As you can see, I had played with a couple different ones. Okay, to make to graph a system of inequalities, you just type in the first inequality from the system. It doesn't matter which one you start with. I'm just typing it in, but you can use these buttons down here. Greater than, let's say less than 25 or 36. Hit enter, and that will graph that inequality. Now, if you want to add another restriction to it, after you put in your inequality, if you use the braces button and type in the second inequality, let's say y is less than or equal to 4. So it cuts off the top of that circle, and you can add as many inequalities as you want. Let's say x squared plus y squared needs to be greater than or equal to 1. So that puts a little hole in the inside. You can keep adding them in. Another nice feature about this program is you can add, let's say we're going to go, let's say y equals, let's try something a little bit unique. I don't have any ideas. So actually, let me, in front of this circle, let me just put a constant multiplier of a times in front of that y squared. When you put in an unknown variable like a, it'll allow you to add a slider, and you can kind of manipulate that variable to create some different graphs. So that's kind of cool. If I make a certain value, obviously it makes it a hyperbola. Anyway, so you can do that. Maybe just add one more restriction here. Let's say y has got to be greater than 0.2x minus 3. So there we go. So there's my first system of inequalities. Don't worry about the boundaries being dotted and solid and all that. This program can't do that, but that's fine. So that would be one system of inequalities. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4. So I'm already halfway done with my project. Gotta have a minimum of 8. So maybe I'll make a second system of inequalities. X minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared it's got to be less than or equal to 5. Let's say I wasn't happy with the location of those things. I'll put a B in there and a C in there. Let's add those as sliders. I can kind of move it around how I want so that it's kind of where I want it. There we go. Now this wouldn't count as a system of inequalities because it's just one solid shape with one inequality. That's not a system of inequalities. So you do have to add restrictions to it to change it somehow. I'm going to maybe graph y is less than, I'm just going to put in the sign of x, plus d. Add the slider d. Let's move that d around until I get some graph. There we go. So there we go. So that's basically just it. When you go to, and then save it. so you can work on it later. When you're ready to print it off, when you go to print, I like to select, this actually looks different. Okay, there's orientation, make it landscape. Scale, maybe change the scale to try to make it look as big as possible. I had different options when I printed it from Chrome, but now I'm in Edge. So I don't know, play around with it a little bit. But when you print it, the second page is going to have this, and that's fine. But this is not going to get you credit for the second portion of the project. You actually have to hand write in your system of inequalities. But it prints off a nice graph. Okay, so remember, you have to have bounded regions. You got to have at least 8 inequalities, and you can have more than one system, one set, but each set does need to be a system of multiple inequalities. Okay? Feel free to stop in if you guys need help or have any questions. Glad to help.